Give me coffee in the morning, gotta have the coffee. Wake me up, shake me up, tip me like a lassie. 1 sip, 2 sips, and I'm feeling so alive.
Hello, everyone. Let me know if you guys can hear us. The coffee in the morning, I hit the wrong one. That's usually our Sunday morning coffee in the morning one. And I love that little tune. It's catchy, Doodle. But, okay, good. You can hear me because I am on the laptop for the first time because that desktop's confining to the bedroom and I can't stand it. I like sitting outside and I got a beautiful sky this evening. So we're going to try it. So if you guys, I got Butterfly up here with me tonight. Kimber may pop in later. She's got a couple of things she's handling tonight, so she might come in later and join us. And Butterfly was gracious enough to come in and co-host with me. So welcome her up, everyone. Y'all know who she is.
Hello, everyone.
Dago may pop in a little while. He's got something going on tonight as well. He's handling right now, so I just talked to him briefly, and he says tell everybody hey, and I told him to handle what he needed to handle, and we'll see him when we see him. So, oh y'all, if y'all start hearing cars whizzing by, let me know because I am on a country road and there's 2 lanes, but occasionally someone decides it's the speedway, and they fly by. Then you forget those county cops like to sit around the corner down there, so we might get to hear a siren go off.
It's a real true crime.
Yeah, like the day I was in my car and all the cops were like going all kind of places. That one, I tried to follow them. I went down there and okay, I guess I'm loud enough. I don't want to mess my thing up here and cause me to mess up. Yeah, I've been known to chase cops around town just to see what's going on. I'm too far out now. They come whizzing by here. I'm like, oh crap! Somebody in the country done something wrong. But so, guys, everybody, welcome in. We'll give everybody a few minutes to get on in. We're going to go over a couple of little Delphi updates for those of you who are following the case. The 3 days of hearings, as it's been called. Today was day 2. We don't have cameras or audio in the courtroom, so I have nothing to look at with my own ears and eyes, and I love doing that, but so I got to rely on other people. So I've tried to get the basics, but it's hard to get everything that happened out of everybody. Some people covered this, some people touched on that, so I've just kind of got my updates like that. And then we're going to go into the stuff on Stern's case a little more. About 1 o'clock this morning when we were chilling out over there with Dago, I had a notification that there was a new PDF files. So of course I had to go look, and I got them and started kind of reading over, and I was like, whoa, really blown away by one. And I was like, I cannot wait to share this with the communities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to read all of them, but I heard, some of it. So I'm just like, oh, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, Plunder, I didn't finish watching her video. She dropped the video, and I went straight to Patreon and just got the PDF. I was like, oh no, I'm going to go get this. I got to read this myself. And then I went back to her some point this morning and started reviewing, but I got sidetracked with the day and never got back to it, which is kind of good because I kind of like just reading them with you guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
I do look over a lot of things and review a lot of things, but sometimes not all the way through. It depends on who it is and what it is. But
Mhm.
she's doing great coverage with this case, as far as helping get all the documents and everything. Her and the docket, but she really is putting them all out there.
Yeah, I listened to his a little bit this morning, but then I got busy at work, so I didn't get to listen to much of it.
Yes, Doodle, everyone, did that show up? Well, I'm clicking. There we go. Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong one. See, me and this laptop may not get along too well. Where'd it go? Here we go. Miss Barbara, everyone, she got some bad news earlier. So Doodle's asking if you please say a prayer for Miss Barbara. Her brother passed away suddenly. Um, and I believe we were in Dago's chat earlier when we found that out. So yes, our thoughts and our prayers are with Miss Barbara and the family for sure. She's such a sweet lady.
Yes. I missed that. I didn't know that happened earlier.
Yeah. So how was your vacation down here to the beautiful Gulf Coast?
It was too short. I want to go back.
Oh, oh, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, we don't
SRB,
have
I
beaches
believe,
like
is
that
still
here.
here. Where you're in Texas?
I'm in Austin.
Oh, so
We don't
you're
have
not on the
beaches
Gulf
like
of
that here.
Mexico. Well, their
No.
Gulf of
Yeah.
Mexico beaches don't have the sugar white sand
Mm-mm.
the way that Mississippi. Well, Mississippi doesn't really have it either. Alabama
Yeah.
Gulf Coast and Florida Gulf Coast does.
Yeah. I brought some of that sand with me, I'll tell you that.
Did you? Heck yeah,
Yeah.
girl. Everybody loves that. So you have to. It's
Yeah.
pure clear quartz crystal. You can't go wrong.
It was awesome.
Well, I'm glad you had a
So
good time.
yeah, that might be an every summer thing, maybe, hopefully, from here on out.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
a
But
lot of
we had a
people
great
like
time,
down
and
here. Yeah, and
yeah,
which area did you went to the Navarre area or?
yeah, we went there, but we actually ended up in the Henderson Beach
Oh yeah,
Park.
yep,
Um, so we went there first because we got a lot of rain where we were at. So we're kind of looking at the weather, and then so by like maybe one or two, it was cleared up over there on that side by Destin. So
yeah,
we said, well, we'll check them out first, and then by the time we got there, the weather had cleared up, so we stayed there. The second day, we were going to go to Navarre Beach, but they had the yellow with the and purple flag.
yeah,
So I was like, no, we'll go back over there. It was really nice. We ended up back over there and just walked the pier at Navarre Beach in the evening. So that was
oh
nice.
yeah, because it was. I think it still is the longest pier on the Gulf Coast.
Yeah,
Um,
it was.
I
We
think
went at
Orange.
night. It was really dark. So
I think Orange Beach had them beat, but after I think it was Ivan destroyed pretty much every pier that
oh
in
wow,
sight for miles and miles and miles. And when they rebuilt, it became the longest pier, and I love going out there on that
yeah.
pier. You can see some pretty cool stuff out there. Yeah,
Mhm.
SRB's down here now, and she's having a good time. So
Oh, that's good. That's good.
yeah, I
I
think
think.
she's down around the Destin area right now. She
Oh,
likes it
cool.
down
See, I missed her by what, a week or two.
there. Yeah, and both of you guys come down here where I'm at, and did I even get to see you guys?
I
No,
know. No,
no.
I told her next time
So
we
is
need to
life,
plan
right?
with with the family and a longer trip so that we can enjoy it
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
So,
for sure. Guys, I don't know if I'm going to be able to present a video to you guys with my little swamp signal, but I'm gonna try. Um, I'm gonna tell you what though, if I end up knocking this stream off, I'm gonna go get on the desktop and restart. And so you guys just know ahead of time if something happens, that's what happened, and I goofed up, and we just got to start all over again, and I'll go do it
we'll
right.
be here for it.
Doodle, my son went to Panama City for the first time and got stung by a jellyfish. He screamed like a little girl. He's a construction worker, so he has you. That is so funny because it's not funny because we see it all the time. And I warn people, don't touch the jellyfish. I got really bad one when I was a kid, and it was I was just telling my grandson the other day, it was huge, and
Mhm.
so it hit my stomach, and when it did, it wrapped
Ouch.
all the way around me.
Oh my
But we were
goodness.
we were over at Pensacola Bay, not at the
Mhm.
beach, so
Mhm.
and I was around the oyster shells and stuff we weren't supposed to be over there
Mhm.
near them because we knew the jellyfish were over there, but I wasn't listening. So, yeah, I got it, and I'll never forget how horrible that was. But my cousin and I were at the beach one year, so we're sitting there being regular old, natives of Florida, laughing at all the tourists. And there's these 3, 4 college guys, and they're throwing the football back and forth, and they're drinking their beer, and they're doing the things. And we're just laughing because they're having a good old time. Well, we notice this one goes off to the water by himself, and he starts messing around. He picks something up, and all of a sudden he just drops it, and he starts rubbing his hands together, and we're like, "Oh shoot, did he just pick up a jellyfish?" And
Oh
damn it, he
no.
didn't pick it up a second time. This time it really got him good. So he throws it and he grabs sand and he's trying to look, see if anybody's seen him.
Oh my
And he's like putting
gosh.
sand on, and we were just like going, "Oh my God, why did you touch it a
Made it
second
worse.
time?" Right? No, people, stay away. If you
Oh
see
my
them floating
gosh.
near you, try your hardest to get away.
I've never been
Because
stung, but I was like so afraid. That's when I saw the flag. I'm like, I told my husband, I'm like,
yeah,
no, we're not
for
staying.
some reason, they migrate during July.
Yeah.
So it feels like in July, late July, or is like some of our worst jellyfish times. And we
Mm.
have our worst seaweed times, right? There's different,
Mhm.
like I got my best shelling seasons and I know when those are, and it is not right now, it's
Yeah.
later in the season, but it's a fun time at the beach. So I'm glad you guys get to come down and enjoy it.
Yeah. Isn't there a hurricane headed that possibly headed that way, or is it the
I don't
Atlantic side?
I'm like over here being a native. I don't know. Um,
Because I don't want to know. Blame you.
it's still pretty far out in the Atlantic. It could
Yeah.
shift up. It depends on all of the upper steering conditions of the weather patterns over the next several days. You know what I mean, to steer it.
Mhm.
Um, but if it gets closer to the Caribbean, I have to start keeping a real watchful eye because when they
Yeah.
go in the Atlantic, they don't come anywhere near me. But when they
Right.
get to the Caribbean, I gotta be real vigilant then because when it hits the Gulf of
Mhm.
Mexico, it's got to go somewhere. And I'm
Yeah.
like sitting duck right here, waving a flag, going right here.
Yep. It's either
But
here or there, one of the two.
unfortunately, we all get it. It doesn't matter. One of us
Yeah.
is taking a beating, and we all know it, and it is what it is. And hunker
Yeah.
down.
Mhm.
First
Yeah.
72 are on you. All the things. If you
Right.
don't know how to do it, you better get on a website and figure it out fast. So if
Yeah.
you are not a Florida native and you reside in Florida, please go to your local TV stations, weather stations, wherever your county websites, get the know-how because you don't want to be caught without the know-how.
Yeah.
And there is a way to survive these things. You just got to do
Yeah.
it. Unfortunately, I've done it all my life, so let me try to share something real quick with you guys. This is a an account. She's Deb's True Crime Notebook on True YouTube here. And she does these pretty good recaps on the Richard Allen stuff of what's going on. And so she did a couple on, I think, 2 from yesterday and 2 or 1 from this morning. The first one she did is where he arrives, and I'm not really going to play that one. But this is like a recap of what they did yesterday. Hi, Mr. Steve. Oh, are you having your coffee? I was over there and chilling in his stream before I went live, and he was going to go get some coffee and some sleep because he's going to be driving later. So thank you for coming in with your coffee. He was talking about the Delphi case as well. So we're going to attempt to play this video, guys. Yeah, this is kind of when I need Dago to be streaming with me. So if I can't do it, he can. But we will try. Let me share my screen here with you.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Deb's True Crime Notebook, and we are back with an update.
I'm so afraid I'm going to end this stream accidentally being on those darn laptop. Okay, here we go. All right, you guys will have to let me know if you can see that. When I go full screen it takes me off the StreamYard screen, so I won't be able to see the chat or anything, but I'm not addicted. I work for coffee. Mr. Steve, I hear you. I just finished a big cup of coffee as well. All right, so I'm going to play this. Is from, like I said, this is Deb's notebook, and it's just the recap she did from the day one hearings. So let me full screen it for you guys.
Welcome to Deb's True Crime Notebook, and we are back with an update. The hearings have just taken a break for lunch, and so I've gotten some reports back. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Frosty. Thank you, Aspen and Jinx. So we're going to start with the safekeeping motions and motions to compel. Both the safekeeping order and the motion to compel have been taken under advisement by Judge Gold, and she will rule later. Okay, second, the state is claiming that they never had the photo of the person or the two people that were laying in the woods. There was a lady in a dress and a man above, and they were laying posed, lifeless, with a tree limb on top of them. Now, that picture was on Brad Holder's Facebook page, apparently. The state claims that they cannot have any issues with that against the state because the state did not ever have that photo in their possession. Also, the defense is claiming that they spent $12,000 to go to Georgia to pick up that photo from Brad Holder's Facebook page, and they want to be compensated. Apparently, Baldwin went there, spent $12,000 going there to pick up a photo. Apparently, I'm thinking I could have driven down there in one day, picked up a photo, driven back, maybe for a couple $100. Yeah. So basically, the defense is trying to bring in that photo that they obtained from someone in Georgia, but it isn't in the discovery yet. So it's kind of a third-party thing. Concerning all of the phone ID numbers, etc., the defense is saying they want the Google warrant to specify what devices they're referring to with the device ID numbers. They claim there's 18,000 lines of device IDs, and they don't know what devices are what. So we have $12,000 to go to Georgia and 18,000 device IDs. That's wild. I can't wait to hear the rest of this. So that's what we have so far from this morning's hearings. We'll be back with more updates as we obtain them. Thanks for listening to Deb's True Crime Notebook. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us a message, ring that bell for all notifications, and we'll see you next time. Welcome back to Deb's True Crime Notebook. This is your recap of today's Richard Allen hearings.
Okay, hold on.
Judge Gold is currently...
So did you guys were able to hear that, right? Okay. Okay, so they had a couple of things that happened yesterday. And when they did the well, I have my note out here. So Brad Holder was I guess he was a suspect early on, and he was interviewed, and I believe that interview was one of the ones that was lost or wasn't recorded or whatever, or recorded over, I should say. It was his and another guy's. So then there's this thing about there was 101 phone extractions done, but right now the prosecution's saying there was not one done on Brad's phone. But according to the geofencing report, his phone was inside of the geofencing. So they're going to have the geofencing expert come in and testify too. And that's the kind of stuff I want to hear firsthand, because I just, it's so confusing, right? And I don't want it to be more confusing than it already is. But one thing we also learned was we have been told for a long, long time, this man was at work till 3:30 in the afternoon. Now we're learning it was more like 2:45, and there's almost an hour of time he's unaccounted for on the day the girls were taken into the woods. So and he really looks a lot like the bridge guy description, right?
Right.
And he has different ties to different groups and all these things. So that's why Delphi's, to me, is important, because I don't know that Richard Allen is not guilty, because he placed himself there. He
Right.
was wearing clothing very similar to what this guy was wearing in the video. And Mr. Steve, I live on the road, rental car. Yes, it's Lord. We are all in the wrong business. We really are, truly. I mean, if you all the different aspects of criminology as a whole, if you look at all the different things that you could do, man, but I don't think Mr. Steve, you guys don't get paid enough money. I'm just gonna go on and say it. You do not earn
Right.
enough money, not for all that I know you do, and have done over the years. But getting back to the Delphi case, there's a lot there that I feel like the courts themselves allowed to get sloppy and messy. And they allowed a lot of room for questions. Like, I
Right.
wouldn't be questioning you so hard if you had just been honest, kind of thing. And I don't know. So I don't. If you haven't really followed Delphi, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. I don't want to make it more confusing. So Dago and I are gonna present the case, but there's just some updates. So they have had the hearings. They're trying to get the confessions that Richard Allen has allegedly made thrown out. I don't think all of them, but at least some of them. They're saying they were made under duress. He was mentally incapacitated at the time, going through it because of the Odonistic guards that were there. That's what the defense is claiming. These guards were there, and that is legit. It's court documented. They were actually there. So, did they do things to cause him to do things under duress? You know what I mean? Now you've cast doubt, and we didn't do it. You
Right.
did. You did it by placing these guards within earshot of this man. And it's like a big mess to me. Now you got
Right.
this alternate scenario that also ties into this. Like, what? Like, I can't step away because I want justice for. It's almost like Karen Reed, where I want to, but I
Right.
won't, because I want justice for those little girls, no matter what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
okay,
I
I'm gonna
haven't
keep.
followed it as closely, but I do have like questions. Like I followed it here and there up to a
Yeah,
point to where it started getting crazy, and yeah, it was just a little too much. I'm like, now I'm in Maddie's case, so I was like, well, we'll see. I'll learn more
yeah.
about it as well.
Delphi was crazy even before the Franks motion that came out that brought forward the alternate theory on the with the Odonism involved.
Hmm.
But like I've said, that gave merit to things we heard years ago that was quickly pushed aside and forgotten about. Like, there was no weirdness with that crime scene. But yes, there
Right.
was. We were told that years ago. So I need to know how that ties into now. What was different? Why did y'all think
Hmm.
it was this, and then you're like, oh no, it's not that. Jesus,
Right.
if there's any evidence we need to see, it's with this case, and why we don't have cameras. It's like, it's
Exactly.
not cool. Not cool not to
Too
have the
many
cameras.
questions.
Yeah, and is that why we don't get cameras? Because there's so many questions. I mean, that I hate to
Hmm.
even be like that, but
Right. But it
it's
makes
like,
you think that way because they're not being. I know they can't be transparent, but we want to know.
and
Like at least
maybe I'm
those deserve
spoiled because
justice.
Florida's got such massive transparency laws, and I feel like all the states should do that. Apparently, Indiana's like, no, you'll get what we want you to get when you get it, And
Hmm.
she did get into trouble. Judge Gold did with the Supreme Court the first time they went to the Supreme Court, because she was taking court documents in and out of the document or the docket,
Wow.
putting them in when she wanted, taking them out, and then she blamed her clerk of court for that. And the Supreme Court's like, no, 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 you need to put them all in there and you leave them. You know,
All she's
there's
doing is giving the defense more to work with when they do things like that.
yeah, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why the defense hasn't been smarter about that.
Right.
Um,
Hmm.
if the Supreme Court's told you twice they can't remove this judge because you didn't follow protocol the right way, not once but twice.
Right.
Jesus, how hard is it to remove a judge in Indiana if she already got in trouble once for not doing her job
Hmm.
right? I mean, I don't
And they're not
know.
questioning it. That's crazy.
I know I was in the beginning, I'm like, well, where's the oversight with the judges in Indiana? Are there any? Is it like the buck stops with her? Like, no matter what she says, this is it. Like, now I need to wonder if you're a high priestess or are you just Judge Gull?
That's scary.
I'm confused, you know. Prove me wrong, lady.
Right.
Damn. If you ever gave somebody suspicion, you done did.
Exactly. And no one's questioning it. It
That is
makes
not
you
my
wonder
fault,
why.
woman.
Right.
You did that.
Yep.
Remember,
Exactly.
we're just armchair sleuths with questions.
Exactly. Question everything.
We question everything.
Yep.
Everything and everyone.
Hmm.
Good night, Mr. Steve. Get some rest and safe travels.
Good night.
All right, guys, I want to pull up this document. Trying to remember which officer was this. This was I got several here. There was 22. They're not all must reads, but we're going to go through them. But I want to get to the one. Let's see. It is under investigative report Robles, I believe here. Okay, let me see if it opens. My kid's like, Mom, you should just download them. I'm like, just dude, shut up. Okay. He's my little tech dude. All right, let's see. Again, when I get this pulled up, you guys let me know if you can see it. Okay, I don't know how your viewing is on your end. I think I can make it bigger as well. I hope so, because I'm not gonna be able to read that. Uh-oh. See, I don't know how to make it
You make the. Can you
way better.
stretch the window?
Hang on.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to try to do. But I got to move this window over, which makes me see StreamYard really, really small. So I'm going to rely on you guys to tell me if you can see it better in a minute. It's still. Let me do this.
I don't know why my
Back
name
out of
didn't
it.
show up on my avatar because I put it on there. It's weird.
All right, I don't know if you guys can see that any better. Can you see that or not?
I'm on my phone, so it's hard for me to see anything. So
Okay, on my phone, if I just zoom in on my screen, I can always see what
yeah,
Dago's presenting because I'm always on the
yeah.
phone, but I'm on the so I hope you guys can see it okay. If you can't, let me know and I'll try to adjust it some more. This is from the investigative report from the NorthPort Police Department. You can kind of see it. Let me try to get it a little bigger for everybody. But I got to be able to see the whole page so I can. Let me make my stuff a little bigger. All right, is that any better? So this is from the
Yes. Yeah,
Northport
that's good.
Northport Police Department investigative report. Now remember, Stefan lived in Northport with his parents. So we were wondering if there was any, where's the search warrants for this house? Because that's where
Hmm.
he lived. You should be searching that house. So yeah, here we are. Now this is a narrative report that the officer gave. And It says the incident location is over at Executive Avenue. Now, that is a storage unit that was owned by Stefan's dad. And their concern was that Stefan could have used that storage facility, or that Stefan transported Maddie to Northport, because they knew this guy was lying immediately. And they were already trying to get the warrants to put the trackers on the car. And they were already collecting all the cameras from around town. Okay, so remember Maddie disappeared the 26th? So what was she found the 28th, Butterfly? I can't Hey Kimber, how you doing?
Wait, wasn't it the March? Was
No,
it the
you're
3rd?
right. You're right. It was later.
Yeah.
March, yeah. Okay, so this is the 28th, Wednesday, February 28th, 2024. I was requested to respond. Uh-oh, I thought that I had redacted that. Oh, well. I thought I did. Oh, I know what I did. I did on my okay, never mind.
Hi, Kimber.
I requested to respond to Snug Street, Northport, Florida, in support of a missing person investigation with Kissimmee Police Department was conducting. Sergeant Fisher was contacted by investigators from Orange County Sheriff's Office concerning LPR hits. That's the license plate readers. I bet you Idaho is probably looking into see what Florida uses for license plate
Right.
readers. Hits for a suspect vehicle in Northport city limits. Based on this information, there were concerns of the suspect potentially bringing the missing juvenile to Northport. The investigators also learned the suspect's father had a storage unit rental located at 1001 Executive Avenue in Northport. It was discovered someone accessed the storage unit and it was not the suspect's father. Based on the totality of the circumstances, probable cause was established to draft a co-affiant search warrant for the storage unit in efforts to find the missing person. So they were going to look at that unit to see if they could find Maddie. Detective Fegan and I maintained observation of the suspect's parents' residence at Snug Street. So they're watching Stefan's parents' house. Now listen to this part. Upon arrival, we observed a female later identified as Deborah Stearns outside of her residence calling for Maddie. It's redacted, but it's Maddie. 2 vehicles were present at the residence. The vehicle parked in the driveway was a tan color Lincoln bearing the Florida tag plate registered to Christopher Stearns. The second was a dark colored Honda parked in the swell in the front of the residence. The vehicle was registered to Stefan Stearns, who is the suspect for the KPD's case. Both vehicles were unoccupied. So Stefan owned a Honda in his name, but he was over there in Kissimmee visiting Jen, driving one of Daddy's Lincolns.
Figures.
Remember, because the Lincoln KMZ was registered to his dad.
Yep.
Okay, so why do you think? Okay, the cops are surveilling your damn house. You're gonna walk out in the yard and scream for Maddie? What, Miss Stearns?
Yeah.
Did you just do?
I don't understand that. Either did she know they were there and she did that on purpose?
Was it a show, girl? Right? I mean, you know your house. Okay, I know if an oddball car is watching my property, I'm in a rural area and there's not a whole lot out here. You're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. But even when I lived in a residential neighborhood in the city, one of the neighbors was being watched one time, and when I looked out my window one night and saw a car parked in the neighbor's yard, and I knew you didn't even look at that old man's grass cross-eyed. Well, there's never anybody at these people's houses. What's up with that car parked there, and why is it facing old boy's house over there that I know is up to no good? 3 nights in a row?
Mm-hmm.
And they
Well,
were
if she knows
undercover
that,
and they were watching him the whole time. So yeah,
wow.
did she see like a car
But
watching
if
the
she knows
house?
he's not there, why would she think Maddie would be there without him?
Okay, she's going to explain why. All right. Whoa. I know if an oddball car goes down my road, right, Kimber? I'd be like, I ain't seen that car around here. My son's like, Mom, what are you? Hey, I'm a nosy person. Well,
Me
when it comes
too.
to my surroundings, I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So those vehicles were unoccupied. Contact was made with Deborah, who initially answered the front door very emotional. Deborah was spontaneous. Okay, y'all. Deborah spontaneously stated she found a torso of a sex doll in Stefan's room.
Wow. When I saw that, I was like, what in the world? In your parents'
Girl.
house?
And she answers the door all emotional. Okay, she goes outside and yells for Maddie. Then she goes back in.
Yeah.
They go to the door. She comes to the door emotional and then blurts out spontaneously that she found a torso of a sex doll in Stefan's room. Lady, that is not the first time you found something in Stefan's room.
Mm-hmm.
Stefan
Yep.
said you were buying him dirty girly magazines when he was 14 years old,
Yep. She
when
knew.
Daddy was away at work. Hmm. All right.
Throwing him under the bus much? I mean,
Right?
which is
I
completely different from the letters that she wrote while he was in jail. While he's in
yeah,
jail, I mean.
I was thinking about those emails as I was reading this. And I need to put them side by side on a comparison chart.
Mm-hmm.
God, there's a lot of work to do in this stupid case. Um, okay, so Deborah eventually calmed her she eventually calmed her emotions and began to inform us that she has not seen Stefan. However, she believed he came to the residence last night, which would have been the 17th or early morning hours of the 28th. But did I say 7? I don't know where that number came from. Just
Yeah.
27. Okay. Okay, because we got a report that Stefan left Chin's apartment or condo, whatever it was, at like 3 in the morning, 2 something in the morning, but he was headed towards NorthPort. And they believe he did go to that house, to the parents' house. But she's going to sit here and say she didn't see him. But she believes
Mm-hmm.
he came there around 3:19. That's in the morning. Deborah explained that her dogs, those poodles, began to
Mm-hmm.
bark at the time, which is typically an alert for someone being in the home. Deborah stated she has been home alone and her husband Christopher Stearns was in Orange County to assist Stefan in getting a hotel due to a housing crisis.
Why couldn't he get his own hotel? I mean,
Remember we read the documents where
yeah.
Stefan, Jen, and Dad all got the hotel rooms. We know why they got the hotel rooms because the cops told them they couldn't stay at the townhouse because it was a crime scene. But here she says they had to go get a hotel because they had a housing crisis.
Do you think
De-
she yelled that out about the doll because she thought they were gonna go in and search?
Go in and look for and see it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, lady. So yeah, could have been that. Deborah advised me she had discovered Stern had been stealing money or stealing cash from her and Christopher. Deborah expressed that she was aware of the allegations of her son and she felt great disgust of her son's actions. Deborah
She.
was in fear of Stefan possibly hiding Maddie, the missing juvenile, in her home. Deborah also explained she has been calling out for Maddie outside in the event of Maddie possibly being abandoned in the woods. Deborah allowed units to conduct a sweep of her home and the vehicles on the premises. Wow.
In honor of Miss Barbara, I call BS.
For real. Oh, yeah, and I didn't put up any kind of warning banners or anything. I need to go plug this damn laptop in. But we're good. Um, okay, let me stretch my screens back out here. And we'll go over a couple more. But I want to see what you guys have to say about all that nonsense right there. She found a torso, guy. Where's the rest of it?
I wonder if he
What?
ordered it just that way.
Because like if it's a blow up doll and you
Oh my God.
only got part of it, wouldn't it be deflated? I don't know.
Maybe she ordered it for him since she orders everything else.
Mm.
What I don't understand is if he's stealing money from both of them, why is the father still helping them get a hotel? That goes to the same, just, I don't know,
Yeah, and why
spoiled
did and he came
title.
down there to do what? I mean, yeah, Maddie's missing. You need to be down there. I guess they were aware of Maddie. Um, she's over here throwing her son under the bus, like she knows
Mm-hmm.
he's a creep. Um, and we also saw in the emails how she's like going on about Jennifer knowing. So
So what
let
does
me
she
get.
know? Because it seems like she knows. It says she knew of his behavior. So you mean to tell me that's the first time he's taken Maddie there?
Wait,
If she
because you
thought
know
he
what?
took her there?
This was the 28th. Stearns didn't get arrested until. Hang on, I'll get on my desktop and look. How would she know he was a suspect? Or how would she
Mm-hmm.
know of the allegations?
Right.
Um,
Because if they were just in the hotel at that time,
yeah, he's
he wasn't
allegedly
arrested yet.
he's over there hanging out with Dad and Jen at the hotel.
Right.
And so how is she aware of these allegations against her
Telling
son?
you,
Because she knows
none of
her
them
son's
advocated for Maddie.
mm-mm. So,
Infuriating.
so how many people actually failed Maddie along the way?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a whole
They're all
bunch of you.
and they're all throwing each other under the bus.
Man, it makes me think about those darn emails, I mean, between him and Mom. And
Right.
it just, I don't know if because this is the, like I said, let me see. Let me catch up with chat here. Is it a mannequin chest? Man, a torso of a sex doll. So where's the rest of it, man? Yes, let me get the
Mm-hmm.
banner up. Doodle, thank you. Totally slipping, guys. Oh, wow. It's so different on this damn laptop. Okay. There we go. Let me also get over here to comments. Let's see, I got. Okay. Uh-oh. You know what I should do? I need to hook my mouse up to this stupid little thing. I'm not used to using it. I haven't used it in so long. And like tonight, I was like, I'm just gonna. Now I can't even find what I'm doing here. Okay. What, Paula? You can order a half body sex doll. Includes chest and torso. It takes all kinds, I suppose. That is weird. I mean, it's weird enough
Right.
to be into those things, but mm.
Mm-hmm. So he just walk in with one day, or was it delivered Amazon or something? I mean,
I mean, I guess. So she had to have known that thing was in there. Like you said, did she just spontaneously say that because she knew they was going to walk in there and see that. Let's see. Let me get this little thing pulled over. I don't care for this split screen on this laptop at all. Not cool. Okay, let me go back to these documents and let's see.
I figured out how to get my avatar up there finally.
Did you figure it out?
Yeah, I changed it.
Okay, let's see here. All right, we will go. This one is the first two. One is like it's really just like a standard what time everybody came in and what time everybody did what. So that's not something we really need to read. Then the second one is a case property list. Okay, let me pull that one up. And again, you guys will have to tell me if you can see it, okay? Because of the way I have to share it on this. Is it showing it? Because I can't see it.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. I can see now. Oh, I think I might have got these screens right where I need both of them. Okay, let me increase it. Maybe. Uh-oh. See, then you guys can't see. I can see that now. I don't like this at all. Sorry, guys. It just says the article evidence interview of Christopher Stearns on 4/11/24 was submitted to evidence. So they did this can't be the first interview. It's got to be one of multiples, but this was April 11th. So this was like, what, a few months after
Right.
Maddie was unalived. So that was submitted. Miscellaneous papers and receipts. Keychain photo of young female. I wonder if that was like a Stearns keychain. Did it have a picture of Maddie? One bracelet in box, teal and yellow with Stefan beads. Stefan beads. I guess it spelled out his name, and it was a bracelet with teal and yellow. 2 Florida driver's license for Stefan Stearns. Wonder if one was expired or old. This is interesting because a SanDisk Cruiser Glide 8 gigabyte, a data stick Pro Thumb Drive 64. What's on these, right?
Yep.
Another one. It's just a power cord here. This is a PC tower. 28 digital images of Stefan's room. Ooh, I'd like to see those.
Mm-hmm.
Bizarre boy. 1 swab of metal pull handle of the storage unit. So they swabbed it for DNA, for that touch DNA. Swab of another rope cord. Rope cord. Rope cord handle. Okay, and then a swab of the lock. Cut unit lock. I guess they cut into it. DVD-R containing search warrant photos. So that's all that is in that document. Exemptions form, I looked at that. We read the incident. No, we didn't. We read the investigative report. Why won't that one open? Okay, let me go here. Okay, this is an incident report. This was one that was right before the investigative report we read a few minutes ago. All right. I gotta make this. All right. Let's see. Is that better, y'all? Okay. NorthPort Police Department. This is from. They're assisting other agencies. They're still assisting Kissimmee, and it's still saying they're at the executive address. That would be the storage unit. The narrative here is body worn camera used. We got some more. I got some more video footage too. From the night that Maddie went missing. Anyway, narrative on February 28th at approximately 1921. That's going to be what 3, 13. Yeah, no, it's later than that. 9, 7, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3. 1 p.m. is 1300 hours. So,
Right.
okay. I responded to the area of Executive Avenue. Life is a life storage facility. 721 Kimber. Thank you, ma'am. In response to this, it's a team effort.
Right.
Okay, so they went to the life storage on Executive Avenue in response to an assist for another agency. The complaint, Corporal, was that? No. I looked down at my phone. It was a notification. It says Delphi unhinged. You ain't freaking lying. My phone's talking to me.
Right.
Anyway, YouTube. Okay, don't sidetrack me. Don't distract me. So they go to the damn storage unit, people. All right. They go there in reference to the case they're currently investigating. Sergeant Fisher spoke to Corporal Ava Avila. Corporal Avila relayed that there was reason to believe a suspect of Stefan Stearns, who currently had in custody, was at this location sometime earlier today. What date was this? 2/29 is when this report dated. When did they leak? Hold on. When did they tell us Stefan Stearns was arrested? Did y'all did I read that wrong? Let's reread that again. Corporal Avila relayed that there was reason to believe a suspect, a Stefan Stearns, who they currently had in custody, was at this location sometime earlier today. There was reason to believe that the suspect had possibly left the body of a deceased victim at this location based off investigative information that they currently had. Orange County deputies advised the suspect was currently under arrest for sexual battery and possession of child pornography involving the victim. Let me scroll down. It was relayed that the victim was last seen in an abnormal state, not moving for several hours in the front seat of a vehicle at an apartment complex in their jurisdiction. Okay. We wondered, because if he went to McDonald's and did all the crazy driving around and all that.
So was she seen by witnesses that long, or was it on camera that they saw she was there that long?
What time? This is why I really got to sit down with this timeline thing, because it's driving me nuts. What time did he go to that parking garage and put her in the trunk? That was on the way out to where she was found. So after the running around to the damn McDonald's situation, whose car did he take to the vape shop, and where was Maddie then?
Wasn't it his father's car?
Damn. Okay.
I could be wrong, but
No, this is a good, and you and I took a bunch of notes and pages and all that. I got all that right there. I need to sit down and go through all of it. Um, every time she says McDonald's, I want a sauce. I know. I like those things, and I hate to say that, but I do. I like an egg McMuffin. I don't have
yeah, he
anything
ruined that.
else by me. I can't even DoorDash, like nothing.
Really? Oh
No,
my
yeah,
gosh.
nothing out here. Maybe, well, I don't want to say maybe one day because we don't really want that out here, but
Yeah.
maybe one day.
I'd love to live out in the country.
Well, if we had just moved 10 miles further down, I'd still be in
Hmm.
the country and could have got DoorDash and would have had probably a lot more trees in the yard, but no. Anyway, moral of the story. Ice cream sundaes and McFlurries. You know what I got? I got waffle cones in there, and I have my blue bet. Was it Blue Bunny or whatever she's called? Banana split ice cream. Oh my god, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it with waffle cones.
Ice cream.
Ice cream. Um, okay, so back to this. Our warning still up? Yes, it is. Okay. It was relayed that the victim was last seen in an abnormal state for several hours in the front seat of a vehicle. So that tells me they did see her for sitting there for several hours. Once on scene, Commander Brownie, Sergeant Fisher, and I checked the area searching to see if we could locate anything suspicious in nature. Sergeant Fisher managed to get a hold of a key holder for this location, who was able to identify the locker storage unit that was possibly utilized by the suspect. Tamiko allowed for Sergeant Fisher and I to redacted for the business. It appeared that at this time, redacted upon initial inspection. After redacted, the redacted, damn, back
Yeah, it's a
any
lot.
previous redacted other than from the time point of when redacted. What the hell? Word salad.
Yeah.
We don't know
Hmm.
what they found in there. I'm assuming they found something, guys, or it would say nothing found.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be redacted if they found items of interest. They could use that verbiage, right?
Yeah.
Um, the Sarasota search and rescue team eventually was requested to respond to the location to check the area with the cadaver dogs. Oh my goodness. Along with Saint Johnson, Sergeant Johnson, checking the rooftops of the building with a department UAV drone. Wow,
They had a lot.
they did. Mm, they was
Yeah.
gonna find this child,
Hmm.
and mm, don't lie to us. They said FDLE said, "Do not lie to us." Mm-mm. The Sarasota search and rescue team eventually was requested to respond. Why would they? We need a map where that. I wrote down where the storage unit was, and I meant to put it on a map and look at the location to figure out. Okay, so was it heavily wooded around that area? Do you know what I mean? Was
Right.
because if you don't, you can search a unit. Maybe they wanted to see if she'd been there at some point, deceased. So you bring in the dogs to see if they hit. Did he take her there briefly during the night during that 3 o'clock run?
Hmm.
Leave her there, go back and get her, kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah. Ugh. I then
Well, they
remained.
swabbed a lot of things, so.
Yeah, they did. They took a lot of DNA or samples for DNA to see if to see if it matches his DNA. I'm sure, or whoever's
Hmm.
DNA is on there, figure it out, see if it matched his.
Yep.
Then they got the drone on the roofs, checking the rooftops. I then remained on scene and was informed that detective of the Northport Police Department would be responding out to this location to conduct further investigation for the incident. Eventually, Northport Police Department detectives, along with detectives of the Kissimmee Police Department, responded to the scene. I completed a crime scene log for the incident. I'm sitting here right next to the desktop and I keep reaching for the mouse and it's like not hooked to the laptop. I'm like, why won't anything work? Because you're an idiot. That's why. Damn it, man. What recipe y'all sending each other over there? Oh, homemade ice cream. Isn't that hard? You gotta churn that stuff like for a long time. Oh, they got like electric churners now or something.
Yeah, just get the what is
I
it?
know.
The kitchen. There's one that actually makes it. I forget what it's called.
Heck
There's a name.
yeah.
Has a name. Too easy.
Okay, so we read the investigative report. That's the one that talks about the mom screaming for Maddie, which I can't. Wow, that's so bizarre.
Yeah, I think it was all for show, just like why she mentioned it in the emails to him to kind of just put it out there. It's this whole, she's just weird to begin with.
Yeah,
Bizarre.
it's crazy. Now the next one was a supplemental discovery. There's nothing in that. I checked. There's nothing to talk about in there. Property receipt. I can't remember. I don't think I really looked at all the property receipts to even know what that is. Oh, you can hardly see it. Um,
Now I did
cyber.
notice when I
Go
heard
ahead.
what they found when I don't know if when they searched his parents' house. I don't know
Hmm.
if they took those little, what are they called, Tamaguchis or whatever they're called, those little
Oh, the
toys
little toys. His
that
toys.
he mentioned. Yeah, that he mentioned in the emails. It doesn't say if they
Well,
took
yeah,
those
I don't
because
think they took
obviously they
them.
didn't because
No,
he
I don't.
mentioned them in his emails.
Yeah, I don't think they did or would. They're not really gonna and let. They took all the pictures of his room, and they'll probably show his collection through like that to tie that into the. We're going to be going over his Reddits. We may not do it get to them tonight, but that's a whole show in itself. His Reddit post, and
I just feel
there's a
like there's
did
a
I
way
see
for him to communicate through those things, which is why I'm wondering. I'm surprised they didn't
I
take
have no
them.
clue about those, but if we go nose around in that damn group on the Reddit, they'll let us know. Um,
Hmm.
well, I didn't. I don't think I sent you the link to his Reddit, just to the discussion group. But if you go to
Yeah,
his
you
Reddit
did.
account, it's still up. Yeah, because if you go to his, it's up, and he's in all these groups for these toys, and they talk
Hmm.
about them like they're like full on serious about this business,
Right.
Um, so I don't know what all they're able to do. Their pets die and stuff. I don't know what. I don't really know if
Yeah.
they. He talks about Maddie in some of those posts, and the games they would play together, and talks about Maddie and refers to her in different. And then there's all the posts outside of the community where his toys are at that he
Hmm.
like just talks to people and gives them advice, random stranger advice that like you should be taking for yourself, my guy. I
Right.
mean, I'm like, come on.
Exactly.
Especially when I read that one that he replied to that mother when
Yes.
she
Yes.
when she was feeling certain kind of way about her husband because of what she
Hmm.
experienced as a child, and he came at her, and was like, you don't need to
Right.
feel that way, this is how men are treated by society, and you should be ashamed of yourself basically for putting your fears over there on your husband like that. And I'm thinking to myself, is this the same stuff you told Jennifer
Hmm.
when if she ever had a concern or thought, well, hey, that's not normal, or no, maybe you shouldn't sleep with my daughter, it doesn't look right, that's not right. Did you gaslight her with some bullshit, and was she that naive to listen?
Maybe. but I
maybe.
don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't really want to give her any grace right now.
I know none of us want to. I mean, well, we want to, but we can't because she doesn't give us
Yeah,
any room. Just
yeah.
like Mrs. Stearns ain't giving me no room to
Mm-hmm.
not think you don't know something, lady.
Right.
So the
Do you
oh,
do you think that bracelet or the whatever they found with his name on it? Do you think Maddie may have made that?
I think so. That was my first thought when I read
Mm.
that. I was like, beads with Stefan. That sounds like
Mhm.
something a girl would make, right?
Mhm.
And did it break or did you just not wear it because, whatever, and you just, that was made by Maddie and you kept it, yeah,
Trophy.
yep. I think this is the copy of the yellow sheet we just saw. Do you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
this is, because this is the same exact uh, stuff here. So this is a property receipt they got from, it says owner Christopher Stearns. It's got their address on Snug Street. One cyber tower or cyber power PC tower model C series. And then it's got all your serial numbers listed and such, and the power cord. Um, so that was probably a computer from the home taken.
Right.
Oh, look, taken from garage.
Hmm.
So he's the home owner of that address, but this computer was taken from the garage. And this looks like might just be people signing off down here. Yeah, served, submitted. Yep, that's all that is. Officers signing off on their duties. So number 3, property receipt would be.
So do you think they've gone through all this stuff, or they're still going through all of his electronic stuff?
You know what? They're probably still going through it. That's like the copy again. I bet the next one go. There's no telling how long it takes to really go through. Some of that can be
Mhm.
older computers. Um, and
Right.
they if they haven't never been, even if they're erased, they can still find stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like
Definitely.
they took they took older laptops and computers out of Brian Koberger's family's home. We
Right.
don't know what all is and isn't on those. Is there stuff
Mhm.
from when he was a kid that what's it going to do for now? We don't. S-
Right.
And could
I
use
mean,
it
if they're
later in
building a
appeal.
yeah, if they're building a case, someone just want to have his history, like
Yeah. And could use that later on appeal if there's anything incriminating in there about her client.
yeah,
See, he's just wacko. Um, this is the stuff from the storage unit. See, because it's got the cut unit lock, the
yeah.
marker, the swap of the metal pull, the rope and the cord swap. But yeah, so that's what that is. A sign off on that. What y'all talking about? Lazy children doodle. They are.
And I thought I
Okay,
heard
the
something
search
about
warrant.
him,
Go
the father saying that he lost the key. So was he saying that so that it would be harder for them to access the unit, or was it just true that he said
I
that?
don't know what his statement or what he actually said about it. I think they noticed, from what I remember reading in one of these reports, they were able to see from the keypad at that unit or that facility. A
Mhm.
lot of the units around here, you enter the gate through a
Right.
keypad. So they
Right.
noticed it had gotten accessed twice that day, but I'm assuming his dad said it wasn't me. You know what I mean? And
Right.
then maybe they cut the lock because they had a search warrant or because he just didn't provide the key or didn't have the key. I don't know. I hadn't
Yeah.
seen that. Yeah, I don't know yet for sure.
I think it
But
was
this
somewhere in
is,
these that were just dropped. They he had mentioned something about the key, and I was trying to figure out
it'll be in
if
one of these documents.
yeah, yeah. I'll be right back.
This is a search warrant. This has got the executive address again. So this has got to be the storage unit. At 3:39, that would be a.m. I was contacted on the 29th. This happened. I was contacted on. Can you guys see that? Okay. I was contacted on my department issued cellular phone by telecommunications to contact Detective Sergeant Fisher. Detective Sergeant Fisher advised that the crime scene unit was requested to respond to 1001 Executive Avenue Unit B124 in reference to a premises search warrant for an agency assist. I immediately contacted crime scene technician Walker. Look at Doodle over there canning pickles and corn all day. Goodness, my granny would be so proud of you. She would. She'd
No
like,
cake?
no cake. I don't bake, so we got to count on Doodle for the cake.
Mm-hmm.
I won't get a cake. I won't buy it.
Right.
My sister bakes. I do not bake.
Yeah, I don't bake as much as I used to. It's too hot.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going to search the unit now, I guess. Upon arrival at approximately 4:43 hours, we met Captain Harvey, Commander Myers, Detective Sergeants Fisher and Strajek, and Detective Sigich, Robles, Chip. Oh my goodness, we got the whole police force out there. All right, all of Northport has shown up. Was requested to assist Kissimmee and Orange County Sheriff's Office in a missing persons case. So we got a lot of officers from 3 different departments on scene now.
Yes, that's
Detective
good.
Sergeant Fisher advised that a premise search warrant was signed by Judge Krug. I almost said Kruger, and Freddy Krueger, and he requested that the exterior door of the storage unit be processed prior to the storage unit being opened. Oh, that's the smart move. Oh, wait, the judge, hold up. Detective Sergeant Fisher advised that a premise search warrant was signed by Judge Krug, and he requested that the exterior door of the storage unit be processed prior to the storage unit being opened. Smart judge.
Yep. Yes, very.
Florida ain't letting you go. Somebody mentioned that earlier. I hope Florida goes through with this prosecution. And like, they're going through with it. They're not the ones you got to worry about. It's the Supreme Court knocking it down.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
Yeah.
they're not playing. They just showed that. We don't want to come back later on appeal and say, well, this warrant's no good. You
Right.
contaminated the crime scene. Da 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 da. Your touch DNA's everywhere. No, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
We made sure before we went in.
Mm-hmm.
I bought some fresh squash today, Kimber, because me and my kiddo, we love some fried squash and zucchini.
That sounds
So
good.
I'm gonna make us some tomorrow. Upon arrival, okay, all the cops are there. I'm getting sidetracked by y'all talking about the food. Stop it now. Y'all know I'll be eating the gummies,
Making
and
you-
now I'm gonna want to go cook, and it's like 9:13 my time, and I just go get ice cream instead. And I'm not.
Making her
I don't eat a
hangry.
ton of- I don't even eat a ton of sweets. I like food, If I'm like,
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
snack on all but I don't eat sweets. It's weird. I just
Yeah.
gotta go and get me some food. Call it snack.
Ice cream's my weakness for sure. So.
I love ice cream, but I have autoimmune disease, so it doesn't always. I have to do it in
Agree.
moderation.
Yeah.
But I do have my banana split ice cream in there, and I've only had one so far, so I'm good to go. I'm probably gonna have a big old bowl tonight, and I'll be fine.
There you go.
Yeah. So now y'all over there making me hungry. I got ice cream, okay? I gotta fall back because I'll be wanting this corn and shit now. See, I want the food. I'm like, where's this corn? I want some. Fresh corn.
Ooh, roasted corn sounds good.
Don't it? I know my cousin, I see Kimber over here going off, and I'm like, I don't even want to look. But my cousin would do that for me. She would blanch me a bunch of corn from Alabama and bring it to me, and oh my god, I just pull it out of the freezer when I'm ready for it and roast it, do whatever I wanted. It was
Yeah,
amazing,
that sounds
amazing.
yummy.
Oh yeah, peppers, not. All right, y'all, stop. Okay, weird. We got excited about this judge wanting to process that door before we bust in. The evidence sought in the search warrant includes the victim and or clothing that she was wearing, photographs of the scene, and any other implements of device relating to the subject matter of the warrant that would be used in violation of laws of the state of Florida. Search warrant. The scene I responded to was a gated storage facility located on the south side of Executive Avenue, just west of North Toledo Blade Avenue, in a commercial business district. Oh, damn it, I want to reach for that mouse again. The weather during the search warrant was mostly cloudy and approximately 63 degrees Fahrenheit. Overall, photographs were taken to document the location and condition of the scene as I found it. A visual examination of the scene revealed that Unit B124 was secured with a locked overhead door. The storage unit lock, rope, cord, and metal handle were swabbed for potential biological evidence utilizing one sterile cotton tipped applicator moistened with sterile water for each use. Or for each area. I glanced over there at the food conversation for a second. See what happens?
Don't look.
Guys, I know, don't look. She's reading. Don't look. We'll start talking about, damn, how to cook corn here in a minute. Utilizing sterile latent, ooh, there's that word. Hmm. Utilizing sterile latent fingerprint brushes and sterile black fingerprint powder, the exterior of the overhead door was processed for latent fingerprint evidence with assistance of crime scene technician Walker with negative results. Northport Fire and Rescue personnel were contacted to assist with removing the lock from the storage unit. Okay, we got the fire department coming too. Upon opening the storage unit, multiple boxes and storage containers were observed. Additional photographs were taken to document the condition of the storage unit as I found it. Nothing evidentiary was located. Physical evidence collected. Multiple detectives conducted a search of the unit. Yellow colored numerical evidence markers were placed to indicate items of evidentiary value as follows. Marker 1 indicates one cut unit lock, and then it goes into the swabs that we've already looked over, that they took off the door on the outside there. The search warrant concluded on the 29th at approximately 5:36 hours. A copy of the warrant and handwritten Northport Police Department property receipt were left on the scene. All collected items were packaged and submitted into evidence. The items will be held in evidence pending future analysis. The 69 digital photographs were uploaded to the secure server. So they took 69 photographs from the storage unit.
Oh. And that was the dad's storage unit, right? That he was using.
Yeah. It was his dad's unit or in his dad's name. Now, don't know if it was just all Stefan's stuff in there or if it was a mixture.
Right.
That I don't know. So they got 69 digital photographs out of there. It says they got some evidence and packaged it, but it says nothing of evidentiary value. Well, there was I guess Maddie and her clothing weren't there, but they probably took
Right.
other items of interest because they were there looking for her specifically.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole basis of the warrant. Okay. So this is another. This got to be the house. Yeah. Um, hang on, I'm gonna unplug this laptop and walk back outside with you guys. So this is well, it still says the executive location. On Thursday, the 29th. Did we read this one already? Yeah. Yes, this is the same one. Okay. This is a supplemental report. Now, I don't know if any of these are going to be interesting to us or not. I didn't get the chance to go over all of them, um, but we'll skim through these and see what they say. But let me make my way out this door, y'all. Sorry. Like an obstacle course through the house. Somebody in the bathroom. Yeah.
It's okay. I got kicked out of my bedroom too. My husband's going to sleep.
Oh, I don't have to share mine with anybody. I don't know. Even if I look, I'm single by design because I just like it that way. I don't even mingle. But if I did,
Mhm.
I'd be like my granny. I never understood. My grandma and my grandfather had separate bedrooms. Like we were kids, we thought that was just comical as hell. I mean, my mom and dad didn't have separate bedrooms, but Granny and Papa do. But okay, now I get it.
You understand, right?
Yes, I
Yeah,
decided if that ever happens, it'd be a miracle if it did. But if it ever did, I think we're gonna need our own bedrooms because I'm pretty. I like mine the way I like it.
right.
Okay, I just do. Um, like I moved in with my son almost 2.5 years ago to help him with my grandson after my daughter-in-law passed. But he has to keep the house super cold. He can't. He was a preemie like 30 something years ago, so he's got some lung stuff, but nothing major. But he likes it
Hmm.
cold, and I get it. But it's like Antarctica in there, right? And I freeze to death. So I like, my room is shut down. I keep it. It can't be that cold.
Well, then
All
you wouldn't like
bones.
my bedroom at night. I keep mine. I have
No,
a portable one in my room,
yeah.
65, or else I can't sleep at night.
Well,
Yeah,
when I'm sleeping, it's different. I like to
yeah.
turn it. I do let mine get cool when I'm sleeping because I use a heating pad at night too. I'll be all
Okay.
hot if I don't have the cold air on, but most time if I'm just sitting in there chilling, doing my thing, no, I'll be froze to death and I can't deal with it. Hurts my bones.
Yeah.
So Northport Police Department again supplemental report. This one says that on this is the 28th, 2 days after Maddie went missing. Um, I was requested to respond to executive in reference to an agency to assist with trying to locate the missing juvenile. Upon my arrival, I was briefed on the situation, which turned out to be a possible homicide victim, and she is possibly in storage unit B124. Wow. Kissimmee detectives, they were really trying to find her, guys. I mean, that
Hmm.
Kissimmee detectives explained that the missing juvenile Maddie was supposed to be dropped off at her school by Jen and Stefan Stearns. I was informed that Maddie never made it to the school, and after several days of searching for her up in the Kissimmee area, she has not been located, and Stefan Stearns was arrested for sexual battery and child pornography for what was found on his cell phone. Further investigation revealed Stefan may have come to Northport, where his parents lived, and entered into his father's unit on the 28th. It was believed that Stefan may have been in his father's storage unit, and the Kissimmee detectives explained to us that someone used the father's code to get in, and the father saying that he lost a key, there you go, butterfly, to the unit months ago, and he cannot find it. So if Chris doesn't have a key, he's not making entry in and out of the unit. Stefan had that
Hmm.
key the whole time. You dirty little dog,
Yeah.
you. Good Lord. So, what were you doing in that storage unit that you hid the key from Daddy? And Daddy never bothered to go down there and just cut the lock and put a new one on and get. Oh, Lord, what the.
Hmm.
Mm,
Did this man own anything of his own as old as he was? Probably not.
only that
Everything
car.
was
Only that car. That's all I've seen so far. And for up until then, we thought he just didn't have one, was driving Dad's car.
right,
But this Honda that they described earlier was registered to Stefan. But what he was driving over in Kissimmee when Maddie went missing was his dad's vehicle, you know? But no, he lived off mom and dad. They were wealthy. Dad was CEO at a lot of different big companies, right? Before
right. I
he went
remember
into,
him saying
yeah,
his worth to him in the email.
yeah, before he went into real estate, Chris Stearns was CEO for a lot of big companies, and he traveled a lot when Stefan was growing up. He was left at home alone a lot with mom. Mom liked to spend the money. She had the horses when he was growing up. And then as he got older, her and they almost got divorced in 94. That was a whole thing, and they're
Hmm.
weird. They're strange. So
Yeah,
he lived off these parents, and they
and stole
apparently
from
have
them
supported.
apparently.
Yeah, there's an older half brother, from what I understand. I don't know much about him. He's like super low profile and he doesn't want to be out there. Like, I don't think he gets
Right.
along with the family. I don't
I
know.
don't
I
blame
couldn't
him.
even tell. Yeah, I feel like I've heard the first name, but I didn't like look that way. I'm not going to bother this dude. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
I don't have any reason to so far.
Hmm.
So it was believed that Stefan may have been in his father's storage unit, and the Kissimmee detectives explained that someone used the father's code to get in, and the father saying that he had lost the key months ago and he couldn't find it. Stefan is believed to have been at the storage unit for less than 10 minutes before he heads back to I 75. At the time I arrived, Kissimmee detectives believed that Maddie may be deceased and her body might be located in the storage unit. So they were wondering,
Where she
why does
is.
it keep saying the 28th he's already arrested?
He was arrested, I think, for what they found on his phone, but he
What
wasn't
date
arrested.
was that?
But the
He wasn't
28th, I
arrested
think so.
2 days after she went missing? They were arresting him that quick, I guess it was.
Yeah, but they didn't charge him
Okay.
for
So
her
they
till
must have
later.
arrested him that night, because this is all the 28th as well. And they hadn't found Maddie yet.
Right.
So they were wondering if he had took her to that unit when he left at like 3 in the morning or whatever it was from Jen's
Hmm.
apartment and drove over there. So he was there a whole 10 minutes, and then he heads back to I-75 back toward Kissimmee. I assisted
Wonder
in
why he
searching.
was there first.
I don't know. That's a good question. What was he doing there? In 10 minutes, that Northport to Kissimmee is well over a 2-hour drive. It's almost 3. I had it mapped out earlier. I was going to show you guys for that purpose, that it's a couple hours away. So why would you go there at leave Kissimmee at 2 something in the morning and end up over, God, you had to be like 1 something. We got the documents telling us the exact times that car leaves. Then you show up
Hmm.
over there in Northport at the storage unit at 3 in the morning, and you're there 10 minutes. What
Yeah.
are you doing? That's completely weird.
Hmm.
And I'm sure there's cameras at that facility. I need to get on the map and look at that facility and see where their cameras are positioned at and see what that looks like. There should be one at the gate coming and going, huh?
Yep.
I assisted in searching empty storage units on the property with Sergeant Strachek, whatever his name is. Commander Myers, nothing was found. I then assisted with reviewing Detective Gitschik's search warrant for storage number B124. This search warrant was signed, and the storage container was searched with negative results. Once this was accomplished, the scene was released, and I cleared the area, nothing further. Okay, so that was the first supplemental report there. From Detective Chippendale, y'all. That was his name.
I saw that on the
Did you
title.
see? Yeah, Kimber, Miss Barbara got some bad news earlier. She has her brother passed away. I know, Doodle, right?
I feel so bad for her. Her birthday's on Friday.
I know. She's
So sad.
such a great lady, and
That's
she
sweet.
endures it, you know.
Yeah, she's been
She's
through
like,
it.
yeah, she definitely has. And we can all relate to things, but in a way, we can't. I've lost a child, but I cannot relate to not knowing where my child is, you know,
Right. Yeah.
missing or nothing. It's just so we're all saying little prayers and sending good vibes to Miss Barbara tonight and her
Mm-hmm.
family.
Definitely.
So this end, they're still at the Executive Avenue there. This one we read. This is about where she found the torso. Kimber, did you hear that? That Stefan, let me read this in case you didn't hear. I got to read this again no matter what.
Yeah, I don't think
Contact
she was here then.
contact was eventually made. Now, the police are outside watching Stern's parents' home, and as they're watching it, Stern's mother comes outside and starts to yell for Maddie. Then she goes back inside. So they go to the door and they contact Miss Stearns. And she was very emotional during their initial interaction. Initially, Deborah only appeared to be upset. Oh, wait, this is a different one, guys. They word it differently. Okay. Okay, so this is the 28th, 21:46 hours. This is, I guess, Detective Robles' version of events. All right.
So maybe she did know that he was he arrested already?
Well, this says the 28th, and this was at night. This is at 21:46, so that is
Yeah, it's late. That's 9?
9.
9.
9:46.
Yeah.
This is almost 10
Mm-hmm.
p.m. I'm assuming that he was already arrested, but at this point. And
Right.
why were they just sitting out there watching her house like that? Remember, the other one says they were watching the house. All right, so
Mm-hmm.
Kimber, I saw your question. We don't know. That's what we were trying to figure out. This one's going to sum up what she was saying in the earlier report that we read. So on Wednesday the 28th, at approximately 21:46 hours, Detective Robles arrives on scene. This is at Stefan's parents' house. On our arrival, we observed a female, later identified as Deborah Stearns, outside her residence and calling out for a Maddie. 2 vehicles were present at the residence, a tan color Lincoln bearing the Florida tag plate, which I'm not going to say, don't matter, which was unoccupied and forward facing in the driveway. This vehicle is registered to the homeowner, Christopher Stearns. The second vehicle was parked in the swell in the front of the residence. This vehicle was facing east and was also unoccupied and is described as a dark gray brown colored Honda. The vehicle is registered to Stefan Stearns. Both vehicles were visually inspected and nothing overly suspicious was observed. Contact was eventually made with Deborah, who was very emotional during our initial interaction. They said that when she came to the door, she was very emotional, and then she was able to calm herself down. And she blurted out something to them spontaneously, they said, when they made contact. And this is what it was. Initially, Deborah only appeared to be upset by a torso she found in her son's room. Now, Deborah would elaborate on this torso and described it as a sex doll. This was later determined to be a rubber plastic sex toy found by Deborah when she was cleaning the room where Stefan had been staying. Deborah advised that Stefan was not there, but she believed he had returned to the property last night, which we heard that in the earlier report. He snuck. So not only did he go to that storage unit for 10 minutes, he ran back by mom and dad's house. It was later divulged by Deborah that she was awoken at approximately 3:19 with the 5 dogs barking. And they never bark unless someone's there. Deborah's husband, Christopher Stearns, was not home at the night before. He was in Orange County. She says to assist Stefan in a recent housing crisis, which we now know they had to go get the hotel room. Deborah believed that if Stefan returned to the residence, that he either returned to redacted or for cash that was kept within the home. Why would that say redacted? She believes that if Stefan returned to the residence, that either he returned to, why would you need to redact that? He returned to do what? Or for cash that was kept within the home by her and Christopher. Deborah advised that she retrieved redacted from Stefan's room and secured them inside her bedroom last evening. What did she retrieve from Stefan's room and secure in firearms? Why would they redact that?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, Kimber. That's she's outside yelling for Maddie while they're observing her. And then when they go to make contact with her and she's visibly shaken when she opens the door and she blurts out spontaneously was their verbiage that she had found half a torso of a sex doll in Stefan's room. So Butterfly and I were wondering, did she say it like that because she felt like they were going to come in and search her home and find it in there and she wanted to give them a heads up? We don't know.
I think she wanted to make it seem like she just found it,
Yeah,
as opposed to them going
right.
in there and saying, "Why has this been here?"
Right, because if her husband's over in Kissimmee with Stefan getting the hotel room due to their housing crisis, then he absolutely knows Stefan was just arrested. He's probably already called his wife and told her. Now the police are there. You're putting on your show now.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
The drama.
Damn, lady. Huh, huh, huh. Apple don't fall far from the tree.
Mm-mm.
That is crazy because you don't just. Wow.
If she went in his room before, that day, what makes you think she hasn't ever gone in there before?
Right, why would you go in there that day of all days to clean the room when you
Yeah.
just found out your son was arrested and why?
Mm-hmm. She's been in it before and seen things.
She had to have. We have a, I did not know this until today. I took I do it with a lot of defendants, but a deep dive into Stearns. And I was down there for a hot minute into all the Reddit stuff, all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I decided to maybe do a little deeper on Mrs. Stearns here. I already had questions and I saw some of this stuff. I didn't know she had a YouTube channel.
Really?
Uh-huh. We're going to play a little clip in a minute from 6 years ago. Her and her
Wow.
damn dogs. Anyway. Yeah, she's quite an interesting lady. I have an interview. I could not find it earlier. I got it from a different channel, and it's her talking about the dogs and everything, her breeding that she was doing. And
Mm-hmm.
so she's telling them how she had setbacks during the pandemic, and then she's like, and my husband had a heart attack. And the podcast that she was doing, the host was like, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, oh, don't worry, he lived. And it was like, I know it was a
Wow.
sarcastic joke, but it was the way I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, lady," because knowing what I know about you, it was like, "Oh, I'm not so
Was she
sure
not
that."
happy he did?
Right, I'm not so sure that was sarcasm, lady. you know,
Yeah, exactly.
I think
Ooh.
Mr. Stearns might have got lucky. You did not. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
so she was awoken by the dogs, and she assumes that's when she heard. Now, police already know Stefan went back over there, but she's letting them know that she heard the dogs woke her up and that she had not seen him, but he could have been back. I think she knew he was back that night before. Deborah permitted us entry into her residence to conduct a security sweep of the home. Nothing of evidentiary value was observed in the room where Stefan resided was photographed to accurately depict its appearance. The 28 digital images were later uploaded into the evidence. They did that with Koberger's case. There's like this one particular thing listed, and I don't know why it would be one particular thing versus what that just said, the whole room, where it says item photographed but left behind. And I'm like, what did you take a picture of but leave behind?
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to know what that was. Those are the little things that matter.
Right.
Um, uh-oh. This one is another incident or report. Um, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It looks like you guys see it blurry, but I cannot tell on this damn laptop. Stefan is a
Yeah, it's blurry.
continuation. Is it blurry? Okay, let me
Yeah.
see if I can get it a little. I don't know why it went like that all of a sudden. Maybe if when I
I can read it.
stretched my screens, that's when it changed. Is it still blurry for you guys?
Just a little, but I think it's legible.
Okay. Because I have to do it a certain way so I can see the whole darn thing with the way I have to view it on this laptop. Um, okay. So this is the continuation. Stefan, and that Christopher is currently being interviewed by the agency investigating the allegations. So they were questioning Dad at the station. Deborah expressed her disgust at the crimes her son is alleged to have committed and is hoping that Maddie is found alive. Deborah opined that these allegations worried her to the point that when she found found the sex torso, she initially believed it to be real. What the
What the
hell?
heck?
I will
What
share
kind?
this one under the community tab, guys. I'll put that if I
Mm.
know y'all can't see it good and probably can't get a good screenshot, but I'll share it.
So it's realistic, not just a blow up one.
Not just they described it a few minutes ago as plastic. So is this lady just dramatic, or all of a sudden, okay, you now know that Stefan's arrested. Your husband's currently being interviewed by the agency investigating the allegations. Deborah expressed her disgust at the crimes that her son is alleged to have committed and is hoping that Maddie is found alive. Deborah opined that these allegations worried her to the point when she found the torso, she initially believed it to be real. I guess at first glance, when she walks into the door screaming, Maddie,
Mm.
and sees half a torso, did she, lady,
So she enables her son, and then she proceeds to throw him under the bus when they interview, when they
wow.
talk to her. Are we sure
She,
it's his?
she believed it to be real. Okay. This then led her to exit her residence and call out for Maddie. So, picture it, Sicily. No, I mean, picture it. This bitch goes into the room, sees half a torso, runs outside screaming Maddie. What?
Yeah.
Mm, this is strange.
Are we positive that it's his and her not just saying it's his? I mean,
She planted the torso. Um, okay, so damn, lady. Calling out for Maddie. This is what Detective Robles and I heard at our arrival, as Deborah ultimately believed that Stefan had returned at 3:19 hours and potentially abandoned Maddie in the wooded area around the surrounding the residence. I walked the exterior of the home and the accessible adjoining lots and did not locate anything of evidentiary of value. Instead of getting tongue tied. Damn. It really feels like she was being super dramatic.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I would be startled if I found half a torso sex doll in my grown son's bedroom. I probably wouldn't go in there.
Yep.
Mm-mm. I don't really think I want to go in that room and nose around. First of all, don't leave your damn doll out there for me to see. Put that shit away.
Exactly.
Put it up under the bed, closet. I don't give a crap where you put her. Just put her somewhere. I will hurt her if I come in a room and see something like that. I'll think it's a person and we can finna throw down, you know?
Exactly.
We're in Florida.
Exactly.
I will stand my ground against that damn doll.
For real. You better not move, is all I gotta say.
Right? Excuse me, I didn't mean to cough like that. Last night, I was like, I felt like I was coming down with a cold. So I got up and I took something like some emergency stuff or whatever. I go to
Mm-hmm.
bed, go back to bed. Today I kind of felt sluggish all day, and then as the day went on, I started to feel like I did last night. I was like, "Oh man, like, did I really catch somebody's summertime funk?"
Mm-hmm. How you feeling now?
I feel okay. I feel like I'm coming down with a darn cold. I don't like it at all. So I'm gonna have to get in there, and my sister will be like telling me to take this and do that, and the elderberry and the this and the that. I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
I'll just get in there
There's
and do some
there's
vitamin
one
C.
called, yeah. It's called Boy. It's made by Boyron. It's a company, and I don't even know how you pronounce it. It's OCC. You take it like when you first start feeling sick, and
Yeah,
it's always worked for me.
it's kind of like that emergency stuff that they have out too. Is supposedly works like that as well.
Yeah, I'll
Usually,
take
if
a
I
picture and send it
feel
to you.
with autoimmune, if I start to feel like I'm getting sick, if I start
Mm-hmm.
pounding orange juice, it does something to your adrenal glands. And you can do
Hmm.
a cocktail, they call it adrenal cocktails, and the orange juice is always your base. But sometimes I will crave orange juice. Can't drink it all the time, but sometimes I will just, my body will crave it. And I
Hmm.
feel like I'm feeling like right now I need a bunch of orange juice. So
Yeah,
I bought
I
some
can't
today when
drink
I went
orange
to the
juice.
grocery
That
store.
acidity messes with my
Yeah,
stomach for some reason.
yeah.
But
I had to
yeah.
buy two different kinds. I got two boys. One wants extra pulp, one wants no pulp. I'm like, dudes, really?
Yep, they always like opposite things. My kids are the same way.
Jesus. We live in Florida, but we don't have oranges on this end of Florida. They're way down yonder. Way down south. Central
Yeah.
and South Florida. Okay, so back to weirdo mom here. She had believed he came back. Okay, I walked the exterior of the home and they didn't find anything. After clearing the location, I responded to the storage facility where I was then asked to check a model home at 1309 Price Boulevard. This is a property that Stefan may have frequented due to Christopher's relationship with the builder, Bright Homes. This residence was secure and nothing of evidentiary value was located. Did Stefan stay in that home sometimes?
Hmm.
Did he I wonder if Stern's dad didn't own that unit that Jennifer lived in and sublet to people with all the
I thought her
numbers and
dad owned it,
doors.
but I could be wrong. Or did he just live there?
Who? What? Stefan?
I thought
Stefan just lived there,
no,
but
no, no. I thought Jen's dad owned it, or
I
did he
don't
just
know.
live there?
I didn't do a property search yet. I think people have. It's one thing I hadn't looked at hard yet, but I thought about it the other day because I know he's in this real estate and he's got properties. You know what I mean? I was started
Mm-hmm.
wonder. I wondered, did he own that unit, or how did
Right.
Stefan meet Jen? They're in two different towns. Did y'all meet online? You didn't meet at Disney because you didn't start working for Disney till recently. So,
Yeah.
and you've known her for years. So, did she live in Northport at some point? Did you and mom and dad live over in Kissimmee, then go to North? When did y'all actually meet up?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know their whole backstory because,
Yeah.
I mean, the cops want to know it too, of course, because they got to figure out exactly when he came into that child's life um, to build their timeline and everything.
Yeah.
So they cleared the location. They went to that a particular home, and nothing was found there. This residence was secure and nothing was located. I then escorted a canine rescue team over to the Snug Street address, which is the parents' home, referred to Detective Witkowski's supplemental for details on the area canvass on Snug Street that we conducted together. Furthermore, the same supplement will accurately reflect my involvement on the crime area canvas of Commerce Parkway. Sorry. I would then return to the storage unit facility location where I would remain until the search warrant was executed on the unit in question. At no point did I enter the unit or handle any of the contents. This concludes my involvement in the matter. What is Doodle hiding? Okay, let's see.
No, they moved to liquor campaign. They went from
Okay.
food to
Ah, did I
alcohol.
just. Oh, okay, so we went down to the search warrants. We did Chippendale, Fegan. Fegan's the one we just read, wasn't it? See, I didn't even pay attention. Supplemental Fisher. Which cop did that? He said, "Oh, here's that one that's going to talk about the search that he was just mentioning." That's that
Mm-hmm.
last one there. So we weren't that far down. I think we just did Detective Fegan's. This is Fisher. We'll see with this one we may have done. I'll pay attention to who we're talking about. Okay. On February 28th, while on marked uniform duty, I received a phone call from the Northport Police Department Dispatch Center asking me to contact Corporal Evan Avila from the Orange County Sheriff's Office. I made phone contact with Corporal Avila, who relayed information regarding a case where they currently involved with the Kissimmee Police Department. He relayed that they had a missing juvenile by the name of Madeline Soto. He stated that the reason to believe something more nefarious happened to Maddie. They were requesting we check a storage unit over at Executive. A cursory search of the property revealed nothing at the point of the property was secured, pending further investigation. So this is basically all that was. There was nothing outside the storage unit. They would have to make entry to find anything else. So that was the Fisher guy, Myers. Recommended what, Doodle? I'm just now looking over here at chat again. Let me look at what you guys are talking about. I made that thing go like so fast I couldn't even read what I scrolling past.
Lori Facts Not Feeling said they may have met through a bariatric surgery support group, and Jen's father owns the unit Jen lives in.
And he lived there with Jen and Maddie. And he didn't care for Stefan, so he moves out. I wonder if there was roommates. I think there were roommates living there already when her dad lived there. I might be wrong about that. Be interesting to know if these roommates come along after dad moved out. Was it just her and dad and Maddie before? Why mess that up? If he's helping you raise your daughter, he can be there for the after school care and things like that. All the things you got to work and this and that. Lord, we done seen how much you needed your sleep and your rest and all that.
He was in the way of Stefan's plan.
Exactly. Man, I just messed up this screen and I can't get it to expand back the right way without maybe throwing myself out of StreamYard, so I'm not going to do that. What did I do? I can't get this to go any smaller.
The plus and minus at the top? Not the very top, but
let me
right,
move that
right above
now.
the document.
Yeah, now I can make this one go back to... This little thing is so freaking sensitive and it's on my nerves. Okay, here we go. Let me get back down to business. Okay. All right. This is another supplemental report. And Wednesday, February 28th, at approximately 1936 hours, Sergeant Alexander Fisher of the Northport Police Department called me and explained that investigators from the Orange County Sheriff's Department or office were requesting assistance with a missing persons investigation because a vehicle connected to their suspect entered the city of Northport that morning at approximately 6:29. As redacted. Entered as... In addition, Sergeant Fisher advised that the subject vehicle left the city at approximately 7:46. Investigators provided information that the suspect's father, Christopher Stearns, was paying for a rental storage facility at Life Storage on Executive Avenue. The discussion and request were for Northport Police Department to possibly check the storage facility for the missing person. I wonder if he stashed stuff over there that he didn't leave out there with Maddie and didn't throw in the dumpster.
Yeah. I mean, that would only make sense for the 10 minutes.
Yeah, and
that
why
he was
go,
there.
and you're there at... Okay, this says you went to Northport at 6:30 in the morning, but we also know you were there at 3 in the morning. I mean, dude, what are you doing here? I really got to sit down and write down all these darn times and put it all together in order. So it was paid for by Dad. The discussion and requests were for the to check the storage facility for the missing person. In the meantime, I was in contact with our investigative bureau commander, Paul Harvey. Oh, look at that. Who was also monitoring the situation and providing updates to the command staff. After a series of discussions, we both decided to respond to the scene. I self-dispatched at 21:22, arriving at approximately 21:23. Meeting with Sergeant Fisher and Officer Hart, and learned that we were waiting for the storage area manager, Alan, to arrive so we could potentially redact it and identify which storage unit Stearns was renting. Ms. Allen printed a unit activity summary for Unit B124, which was accessed on the 28th at 9:08 and then exited at 9:16. So that's going to be AM. Depending on the gate, the renter would have to enter their gate access code to get in and out. Sergeant Fisher also attempted to redact it, but also learned that it been non-working for about 1 week, which even though Sergeant Fisher remedied, did not reveal redacted of who accessed the storage unit. So they saying they don't really know who accessed that unit yet. Detective Jason Sigagich was requested to respond to NorthPort PD and start a search warrant affidavit for the storage unit. Nothing, noting that the investigation from the other agencies provided additional probable cause to act as co-affiance. In addition, Detectives Zaheen Robles and Fegan, along with members of the department's special enforcement team, were sent to the Stearns residence on Snug Street to speak with Deborah Ann Stearns. Refer to these officers' supplemental reports. Well, we know what happened when they got over there to talk to Miss Stearns.
Mm-hmm.
She put on a show, just like her son. Oh wow! Think about that. She look at that show Stefan put on for the cameras. All that whining and crying
Yeah.
and I can't sleep. I haven't eaten. I'm on all these tranquilizers. I keep having these panic attacks. It's cold in the jail.
Yep. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, and then she's over here all dramatic going, I found a torso and now I'm going to run outside. And that's almost a slap in Maddie's face. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Because
not
if
cool.
she's the first thing you think of when you see the torso.
Right? Your mind automatically went to my son. Yeah,
I mean, by that time, she already knew what he was charged with. But
exactly.
she's a child. So
At that point,
what did the torso look like? Did it look like a child? I mean, that makes no sense.
at that point though, Stefan had only been charged with the CSAM.
Right.
Remember, we didn't get the murder charge for a while because we couldn't figure out
Mm-hmm.
why they hadn't done it yet, and then they did. You know, just like now we can't figure out what's going on with Jennifer. I mean,
I mean, if the torso's
they knew he was
plastic,
guilty of it, but you know,
I
I'm
just
sorry. Go
don't
ahead.
understand where her head went when she saw that
I
torso.
know
If you think
you
of a
that mean
torso, it's gonna be bloody. It's gonna. I don't know.
right, exactly. If he had just like if he severed a body and left part of it in the room,
I mean,
there's no
not enough for all the dramatics that she gave.
not to run outside. I glance at this, think it's real, and then I'm going to run out and automatically. So you think your son's capable?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you just told me.
Right. Well, she also told on herself
Yeah, Paula.
because.
Yeah, Paula. Mom said, let's see, let me get that up there. I don't even know if you guys can see it because I got this screen up there. Mom said she thought there was a real torso and she is disgusted with Stefan, yet she's trying to blame Jen and the messages with him in jail. And if you listen to those, read those messages, she doesn't not blame Stefan, but she also blames Jen. And,
Night, Kimber.
good night, Kimber. Get some sleep, get some rest. You need it. Thank you. We're sending you good vibes too.
Yep.
Yeah. So she's this lady is weird, just like her son.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess she's really saying that. Yeah, I guess my son's capable of doing something like that. If that's your first instinct is to run outside like that and yell for Maddie, that's ugh.
While they're outside watching that.
I know. Like they were outside watching Koberger take the garbage to the neighbors. They're outside watching you anytime something goes down in your life, something close to you, or if you actually did do something, you and Jesus know the truth if you believe. So you know if you did something, even though you're trying to pretend you didn't, they're watching. You're pay attention.
Yep.
They're out there with their drones and their everything. Their little,
I'm sure she knew that.
their little fixed wing planes and stuff. Because I see a fixed
Yep.
wing plane following me.
Probably listening too.
Oh, good lord! It's like, don't ever look at my phone. Do not do a Google. Don't look at my phone and see what all I'd be
Especially with
searching.
all that true crime.
Mm-mm. You do not want to look at my Google search history or any of the
Exactly.
other stuff I got saved to that phone. Don't look at it.
Hmm.
In fact, there's this thing still from Halloween that I put on here. My grandson, it took him a minute to get used to it. But when you turn my phone on or try to get in it, it literally is a clear a screen looking at you and it says do not enter and it's bloody hands. They don't know, none of them know how to get into my phone. My son's like, really, mom? I'm like, really? You don't want to go in there. You really don't.
But I warned you.
You might get scared. What's mama doing? They already think
Yeah.
I'm weird. So this is another narrative report. On the 29th at approximately 4:38, this would be a.m. again, Reed arrived on scene at the storage unit. I guess this is where they're just the crime scene log. They took over the crime scene log. They're just logging in everything. The scene was broken down at 5:45. I marked the remaining personnel on scene out of the crime scene at 5:45. So this one is, we're almost done with these. Did that one bring it? Yeah, there it is. I was just glancing over it for a second because I think it's just telling us some of the same things. On the 28th, they
Hmm.
arrive at 8:28 p.m. They got the phone call about from Sergeant Fisher. They're on the scene at the storage unit. After being briefed by Sergeant Fisher, they respond to the storage facility. Pretty much they go in and do their thing. Yeah, there's
Yeah, I
nothing
think
in
we
this
saw this.
document.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, Lori. Well, a weirdo like Stearns, and he gets it from his weirdo parents.
I know. I said that too. I was like, why would you keep that in your parents' home?
And it's had to have been there. It didn't just show up, right? Like we were
Right.
saying, it
Hmm.
couldn't have just shown up. Like,
Yeah.
that would be weird. Weirder than it already is. Well, this
I
was
mean, if she
very
had
short.
access to his room that night, she would have had access to his room any other
Right.
night.
So you never, I mean, I can see if you never went in there, but I guess that night you getting the phone call that he's incarcerated for whatever, the CSAM, that said to you, well, maybe I need to go check his room. Oh my God, there's half a torso. And I'm going to run
Then you run
outside and
outside.
scream for Maddie. And then tell the cops when they come to the door, I just found half a torso sex toy in my weirdo son's room. And I'm scared it could have been
Hmm.
Maddie. What lady? They had,
Yeah.
if I was a cop, I'd have been like, you're just as shady as your son.
Right, Paula? I said the same thing. But she
Rub it,
probably bought
damn
it
it.
for
You
him.
know it. She was over there buying him the girly magazines at 14 years old, according to his Stefan's friends. Um, she would buy them when Daddy was out of town. Like, my son wants that. He needs to go buy that himself. I'm not doing it.
I wonder why she had to mention that he stole money from them when they just enabled him and gave him access to everything. I thought that was kind
Exactly.
of weird.
Right. You're over here saying he's stealing money. How much money y'all keeping around the house if you're suspecting your son of being a thief? And why would you volunteer this negative stuff suddenly?
Right.
The torso,
Because if he
the
asked for
money.
it, they would have just given it to him anyway.
Yeah.
Like
Lori
everything they're
says,
sending him in jail.
yeah. Lori says, if I find a sex doll in my house, 100% will be living alone. From now on, husband, son, all of them will be gone. It's so weird. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need a toy like that. You do not need me.
Right?
Paula. Look, my grandbabies are like, his mom loved horror movies and he'd just watch them right along with her. Like, I didn't think he was scared of any of that horror stuff. So last Halloween, we go to the grocery store, and as we come out, we actually went to the one up in the little rinky dink town here. So it's like one store. So there's the empty parking lot. We come out and we happen to be parked next to a car, and we go toward my trunk. And the way that car was parked, as I go around the back, I go to put the stuff in. I look up, and I was like, "Oh heck!" And I said to my grandson, I was like, "Mason, look." And when I pointed, he turned around, he looked at me, turned pale, jumped in my car, and screamed, "Let's go, Grandma!" I'm laughing. I was laughing so hard. It was a Chucky doll, y'all, sitting in this
Oh my
person's
gosh.
car, like just
That's
chilling in the
funny.
car. And when he turned around and seen that damn thing, he was like,
It's
"Nope, leave the buggy,
alive.
leave all them groceries we just bought. Just get in the car and go. Don't even I'm like, and once I got over laughing, I'm like, "Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. I thought you would laugh at that. I did not know." Scared him.
Oh.
Probably gonna get her one and ride around. You know what? Remember those ladies that were doing that for a while? They had like a little campaign. You could order that male doll and let him ride around in your car so people wouldn't
Oh
think you were
yeah.
alone. I'm
I've seen people
sorry.
do that with skeletons as well. Like the
I
whole
am. I'm not riding around with a fake dude in my car. He's not gonna do shit for me when shit hits the fan.
exactly.
His ass is gonna sit there like nothing's happening.
I'm like thrown at you.
He'll
Oh
pop if I
god.
try to use him as a shield.
Right.
They're probably not inflatable, the kind you well, they might be, I don't know, I have to look into it. Those kind you order for safety. I
just
wanna
don't o-
don't
just don't
talk to
order the
him.
torso,
Don't
please.
look at my man, damn it. Do not. Even at a red light, don't look over here. He
He
doesn't
won't
have
turn to
much to
look at
say.
you.
Hey, that's my kinda man, though. He's gonna sit there and be quiet.
Right? Not say a word.
Mm, I don't even need one like that taking up space, no. Okay, this is the last one.
Won't argue back. That's the good thing.
Excuse me, I got some cold water here. See, I feel like I'm getting, like, cruddy, and I don't okay. Did this one come up? Why didn't it there we go. It came up twice. Alright. This cat is harassing me, and it's not my cat. It's my son's friend's cat. Okay,
Oh.
he is chilling in our backyard. It like he literally like there's a fence. This cat will not leave the backyard. And he's like laying here on the porch upside down, like just looking at me like, touch me. No. Um, at approximately 22:08 hours, I requested to respond to life storage on executive. Okay, in supporting the investigation, they arrive on the scene. Provided security for Sarasota Search and Rescue. That's a second search and rescue team there because they also had the other team. Um, while they examined the storage center and checked the public swell on Snug Street. What is the swell? That's where Stefan was parked on Snug Street out in front of the house. Checked the public swell. I don't have swells on this end of Florida. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I was thinking turnabout, you know what I mean? Like a rounded driveway, but
Yeah.
why would they send the dogs in there unless there's like a little patch of woods? Maybe there is. I have to look at the property and I haven't mapped it yet. So it may all make sense if I do that. All right. During the check, the storage center, the handler advised a change of behavior by the dogs in the approximate area of Unit B124. which the handler advised denoted an area of interest. The SSR teams did not advise of any alerts from Snug Street. So the dogs did not alert at the parents' home, but one had changed behavior at the storage unit. Did he take her
Because
there?
he had, that's what I was wondering.
Did he take her there and then change his mind? Or
Maybe.
decided, maybe come up with a plan, then he went and got her, and then that's when. Okay, gotta get this timeline shit figured out. Detective Fegan and I conducted a neighborhood canvass surrounding 2341 Snug Street, the home of Stefan's biological parents, during which the following houses redacted were located. It is unknown if redacted anything of value. Additional follow-up will be needed if deemed necessary by the primary investigative agency. An open home under construction in the vicinity of Snug Street and is adjacent to dump trailer were checked, and then it gives those addresses so I can look at those on a map, and all whatever's there is redacted. So they also checked a home under construction too, I guess because it's right there in the area.
So was it cadaver dogs that picked up the scent?
Didn't say, because it said it was a search and rescue team. I provided security for the Sarasota Search and Rescue SSR teams. And then it says the handler advised a change in behavior. I wonder if Plunder has put in for body cams from NorthPort. I'm pretty sure she has. So if they had the body, because we got body cam of the, I don't think I think the body cams I have of the dogs are from Kissimmee. I got 2 different ones. But I don't have anything from NorthPort yet. And we're also waiting on those jailhouse calls to come down, the video calls.
Mm-hmm.
So they checked all that, and that is the last one of that 22-page or 22 PDF file doc. Drop on that, guys. Let me stop sharing this screen now. Let me close that. I can make you guys bigger again for me. Like I can see clearly now.
Right.
Well, that's much better. So, Leslie and Billy, I did not hear the backstory on why your name got changed. She's telling me that earlier. I was like, yes, I see that. Stay 6 feet, 6 feet.
So you said her phone had a virus or something? If I remember correctly, but I could be wrong.
Whose? Oh, her phone?
I believe so, but I could be wrong.
No, that's not cool. Not cool at all. You have to be so damn careful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's our understanding as well, Lori, that Jen's parents did not care for Stefan. And I wonder if I'm sure they have expressed their feelings to Jen. I got the impression the mom may have. They almost seemed way more concerned than Jen and Stefan. We know why they weren't as concerned, I think. We know why he wasn't. We think we know why she wasn't as concerned. They appeared to be more concerned anyway, I should say.
Doodle told her she was contagious.
I can't. It's weird that Jen's dad would own that condo and not approve of him living there, but would just be like, okay, I'll just move out. I guess they didn't. suspect there was anything like that going on, especially if Maddie never said so. But it makes you wonder, did they ever question the bizarre Maddie had to sleep in the living room with the petitioned off
Right.
bedroom thing? And why was there numbers on these doors? Was needing these roommates such a thing that you had to number all the doors because you have revolving roommates? You don't do revolving roommates when you got a child in the home anyway.
Mm-hmm. Like, did her family never go there after the dad left?
Right.
I mean,
Um,
that's just questionable. Just hearing about it, much less
I
being
know.
there.
How can you be so complacent, and
Mm.
is this a indication of why Jennifer could be so naive because y'all are too? Or
Is it something more?
yeah, I mean,
Like,
I
no
don't
one
feel I
advocated
haven't
for her. That's
seen
what makes me so mad.
yeah, I haven't seen anything that indicate that Jen's family knew of anything, going down. Um, but man, I don't know. If I had suspicions about my
Mm-hmm.
grandchild, I'm not going to be the kind not to. It's going to cause a
Right.
problem. It's going to cause a problem because I'm going to have to say something. You know,
Mm-hmm.
especially if I felt it was a real concern.
And
I would have.
she had to have been alone with her at some point, especially if Jen said she would go to her work after school sometimes. So,
Yeah,
like,
because
she never questioned her and asked her things. She was suspicious.
yeah, I don't think Maddie ever gave them any indication. Because what we've read in the other documents when they talked to the teachers, and the only real thing Maddie ever said, there was two things really, just to the friend that she wanted to go live in the woods, when she turned 13. But she also made a statement that she didn't like it when Stefan, this is after she got older, one of her recent statements, and I forget which document it was, we have it, where Maddie stated to the teacher or the friend, or was it the counselor, that she didn't like Stefan, her mom's boyfriend, rather, that
I
when
think
he
it was her
came
friend.
over, yeah, she didn't like mom's boyfriend. When he came over, he hung out in the living room and ate their food.
Mm-hmm.
And we now know Maddie had to sleep in the living room. So why didn't you get your ass up to room 4 and sleep by yourself and eat the food? Bring your own next time. Why are you even here?
Exactly.
Why are you even here?
Mooched off of everyone.
Right?
That's what I said.
If you
Did
and
he
Jen
not have
broke
anything
up,
of his own? Jeez.
right? And if this is what don't make any sense even further, if you're on again, off again, whatever you want to call it, you two are the adults, the male, female. He comes into town for a visit, but he's not there to visit you and spend the night with you.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm tired, Stefan. Take my daughter and go to bed.
And bring the
Nobody,
dogs to me to sleep with me.
yeah, leave the dogs here because I'll need my snuggle buddy. We all got the PTSD and the anxiety. But no, you don't, lady.
Mm-hmm.
You got something, but it ain't that.
Exactly.
That's just the audit, that if she had said, my boyfriend came into town, we went to bed in my room, my daughter went to bed in her room, it'd be different. That's not what you said.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
don't get mad at us when we throw shade back at you, lady,
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't make sense to us. But
No,
guys,
especially they were off again. So
I know. And for years, they've been together for all these years, and it makes you wonder why Jen would have um, allowed him to come visit like that and
yes.
willingly go spend the night with her daughter unless there was reasons for it.
And Maddie not want it. You know. Are you still there?
Yeah, I was reading
Okay.
a comment,
Okay.
Salty, if they are so good at doing this since she was 7, these good at living lies. Yeah, um, definitely. And there's so many kids don't realize, because it starts at a young age, that what's happening to them is wrong,
Mm-hmm.
that it's not normal until they start to get older. like Maddie, for
Right.
instance, and begins to realize this is not what everybody else does. Because think about it, if you are a little child and that is happening to you, you have no idea that is not normal.
Yeah.
So if they're not hurting you, you don't take it as being hurt, why would you tell? Now, even if that person's threatening the child, it may come across. Remember, we read in that one document,
Mm-hmm.
trigger warning. I'm not going to say it all, but in order to get Maddie to do something to him, he used
Right.
his phone game time as a reward or a punishment for not doing it. So
So,
there's little manipulative things they do to these kids, and that's the sad part. It's horrendous, and
mm-hmm.
then
Yeah.
you take into the consideration all this other stuff, the mom and his mom and Jen and all this weirdness they all got going on, and it's like, wow, what was really happening here?
Mm-hmm.
And how many of y'all allowed this man to do this for how long, and how many other children were involved?
Well, they had the setup in that extra room with the camera and everything. So if he wasn't living there,
There
she
was a
had to have
tripod.
known.
Yeah, there's a tripod in room 4. Was it always in room 4? Who else used room 4?
Right.
Now, we know that one roommate had a 15-year-old son living there. And from the way the
Mm.
document reads, they shared a bedroom. I have no issue with that. They met, that could have been totally out of necessity. You know what I mean?
Right.
Separate beds in the room. I've been there, done that. Ugh, I had no choice at one point. For real. Me and my kid had to move. I think he was like 11. We ended up in the same
Mm-hmm.
bedroom. I was like, oh, hell no, I'm sleeping on the couch. You can have this little room, dude.
Right.
Was like there for 2 weeks until I got my new place was ready. But he was like, no, it was hard. You know what I mean? I was like, no, I couldn't imagine. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. When it's that in itself, it's
Yeah.
that's a
So I don't.
non-thing. But when you add
Yeah,
everything
it makes you
else,
question what
yeah.
was that about. Is
Right.
it's should that be a concern, or the police? I'm sure the police have went red flag, and also no, it doesn't mean. I mean, I see her name. We have her statement, but I do know that she had a 15-year-old son living there. What was he able to tell the police?
Right.
I'm sure they talked to him with her presence, you know what I mean? To get a feel for things. Did you ever see anything? How was this? How was that? Did Stefan ever act a kind of way? Did they We haven't seen any additional charges, so I'm assuming he
Right.
didn't go that way, but we do know that there was evidence that he did stick a phone under one of the roommates' doors. Now, it
Jesus.
was the female roommate, though. There was 2 different
Right.
roommates, only one of them had a kid, so I'm thinking that was the single female roommate that he did that to. And
Mm-hmm.
the friend that was interviewed that grew up with Stefan temporarily lived with Stefan because his dad owned the properties. And then him and Stefan got into an argument because he refused to pay his part of the rent because he said there was things that Stern's dad just would not come fix. So he's like, I'm not paying the rent until you come fix these things. He said that Stern's dad called Stefan and complained. Stefan threw a huge man fit, went into the floor. He said this guy went to the floor, threw a fit, got up, went
What?
into his room, got his gun. I'm not demonetized because apparently
Mm-hmm.
the dude is obsessed with those things as well. He even talks about it in his Reddit post. Um, and they confiscated some when they did the search warrants. So he goes and gets
Right.
his gun. He comes back out and he pulls it on the dude. So the dude's out, right? Calls his dad, tells his dad what happened. His dad paid to get the guy out of the lease. The guy moves out. Then another friend ends up moving into that place with Stefan. He said that when that guy lived there with his girlfriend also lived there with them, that Stefan did the same thing. He tried to record her under the door. Well, the guy
Is that the
caught it.
one that the mother
Yeah, she paid that
covered
guy.
up?
This is
Yeah.
allegedly now. Um,
Yeah.
so Stearns got caught doing some nefarious shit there, and the mother paid that guy off to keep quiet. and that's supposedly how that went down. So the guy's been a creep for a long, long time. If those are, I have
Mm-hmm.
no reason not to believe those interviews. So it did not come from T Rev, so don't worry. Um, it didn't. It
Yeah.
came from it's Gray Hughes. You can go right there and
Right.
listen to every single one of them. They are legit, and I've heard the friend he grew up with. I've heard him in another place as well. It's the same exact story, and there's way too much detail for it not to be, real. And and if you listen to some of the things that Stearns himself has said and compare with what that guy said, they absolutely line up. So
Right.
yeah, you can go and listen to. I think there's 3 different total interviews over there he's got with people that knew Stearns, and the 2 guys are very, very interesting to listen to say the least. Gives you a little backstory into Stearns, a little more than than you may have seen, because I haven't had a chance to share those with you guys. Which I don't really want to piss Gray off by playing one of his videos, so y'all go watch him. Give the guy a like. He might be a butthole, but he does good work. Salty, you get some rest and get to feeling better and take care. Thank you, and thank you for being here and putting up with my contagious. So you're welcome, and thank you for coming and hanging out with us. I appreciate it. I'm about to get off here too, and go rest my voice. I kind of feel like it's going away a little bit. Get me something cold to drink, probably a bottle of water.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Hold on. Give me just a second.
Okay. Gray does do great. Gray does do a great work. That was almost a tongue twister. Yeah, he's a butt, but he's cool. I mean, if you're willing to put up with it, he doesn't bother me. I laugh at him when he gets all sideways. I'm like, oh, dude, stop it. He does excellent map work. I'm a little jealous of Gray's map work abilities. Um, thank you, Paula, for being here. Lori, we appreciate you coming. Butterfly, thank you for coming in and co-hosting with me. I appreciate it. Can you hear me? I think she was having a little bit of an issue there. All right, guys. Well, my battery is going dead again, so that's going to end it for us tonight. I appreciate you guys coming in. We're going to schedule another one here soon, the next day or two. And Dago and I will be putting together that big Delphi show for you guys, and Mr. Steve is going to come and join us for that. So, again, thank you, Doodle. Thank you for being here. Everybody else who came in. Thanks a lot. We really, really appreciate it. Have a good night, guys.